Chapter 7. A Cure for Scepticism. When Algernon had completed his phone call, he lit a cigarette very calmly and deliberately and crossed to where Dr. Imbert was standing. Only the trembling of his lower lip betrayed the agitation he was having difficulty in controlling. "There have been 5 emergency calls," he said, "all from the Midtown section, between 35th and 48th Streets." Imbert grew pale. And deaths?" Algernon nodded. "And deaths. 2 of the ambulances have just returned." "How many were killed?" "They don't know yet. There were 5 bodies in the first ambulance. 3 men, a woman, and a little girl, a negress. All horribly mutilated. They've gone wild over there. The chap who spoke to me wanted to know what I knew, why I'd phoned. He shouted at me, broke down, and sobbed. God! "There's nothing we can do till Little gets back," Algernon said.
"And then? What do you suppose we can do then?"
"The machine," Algernon began and stopped. He couldn't endure putting the way he felt about Little's machine, and the doubts he had entertained concerning it, into words. It was necessary to believe in the machine, to have confidence in Little's sagacity, supreme confidence. It would have been disastrous to doubt in such a moment that a blow would eventually be struck, that Little and his machine together would dispose forever of the ghastly menace of Chognar Fawn. But to defend such a faith rationally, to speak boldly and with confidence of a mere intuitive conviction, was another matter.
"You know perfectly well that Little's mentally unbalanced," affirmed Imbert, "that it would be madness to credit his assertions." He gestured toward the machine. "That thing is merely a mechanical hypnotizer. Ingenious, I concede. It can induce twilight sleep with a rapidity I wouldn't have thought possible. But it is quite definitely 3-dimensional. It brings the subconscious to the fore. The subconscious, that believes everything it is told, induces temporary somnolence while Little whispers, 'You are gazing on a 4th-dimensional figure. You are gazing on a 4th-dimensional figure.' Such deceptions aren't difficult to implant when the mind is in a dreamlike state."
"I'd rather not discuss it," murmured Algernon. "I can't believe the figure we saw was wholly a deception. It was too ghastly and unbelievable. And remember that we both saw the same figure. I was watching you at the time. You looked positively ill. And mass hypnotism is virtually an impossibility. You ought to know that. No 2 men will respond to suggestion in the same way. We both saw a 4-dimensional figure, an outrageous figure."
"But how do you know we both saw the same figure? We may easily have responded differently to Little's suggestion. Group hypnotism is possible in that sense. I saw something decidedly disturbing, and so did you, but that doesn't prove that we weren't hypnotized."
"I'll convince you that we weren't," exclaimed Algernon. "A time-space machine of this nature isn't theoretically inconceivable, for physicists have speculated on the possibility of reversing entropy in isolated portions of matter for years. Watch now." Deliberately, he walked to the machine and shot the lever upward.